I'm Kirsten, and today's video is a very special one. It is Panda's 4th birthday. In honor of celebrating her birthday and the 4 years that we've had her, I thought I would give you a story time about how we got her and our experience with that, and our experience with a breeder. So let's just get on with this video. So I am currently editing Panda's birthday vlog, and I just realized I never made a disclaimer for this. This happened back in 2016, and we were really young and we did not know that there is a controversial thing between shopping for a breed from a breeder or adopting a dog from the shelter. In our experience at this time, we had a shelter dog and we are experiencing a breeder, and this is just our experiences, not speaking for anyone else but our own, and we just wanted to share it. So, to give you a little backstory, we, back in 2016, Chris had gotten a job of him being on a construction crew, and we were traveling and we were going to be living in a camper. So I was going to go with him, and I didn't want to be completely bored out of my mind, and I really have been talking about a puppy for a really long time, and then it just seemed like the best time to get a puppy is when Chris was going to be gone a lot and I needed something to do, I guess, and potty train and that kind of stuff. So I decided that we should get a puppy for this road trip and stuff. So I began doing research, and at the time I really wanted a French Bulldog. But as many of you probably do know, French Bulldogs are very expensive, and we were completely still in college and we did not have the money to buy a French Bulldog. So I looked at an alternative to a French Bulldog. I did some research and I found that Boston Terrier were the closest kind of dog, very similar to a Frenchie and the behavioral and all that kind of stuff that we wanted. So I had decided that's what I was wanting to get and all that. So I ended up looking up some breeders in Nebraska. I couldn't find very much of anything. That's the problem with, I think, breeders, is it's really hard to find a breeder, and if you do find one, they're usually out of your state, and it's about if you want to travel to get them or not. At the time, we didn't want to travel to get this puppy, so I ended up finding, I went onto the Facebook pet for sale places, and I found a lady that was posting about having some Boston Terrier puppies, and she was looking for homes for them, and they were going to be about $400. They'd have up-to-date on everything, and you'd pretty much get everything you need to have this puppy. And at the time, I thought that was a really good idea. It's pretty decent priced. I mean, it's on the cheaper end for Boston. I was okay with that. She lived really close by. She lived about an hour away, which wasn't too bad. And so we decided that I wanted to get in contact with this lady. I got in contact with this lady, and she messaged me back right away. And we started talking, and she's like, I have 8 puppies. I have 3 female, 5 females, or 3 males, 5 females, and I have 2 families that are coming before you get to pick the puppy. And she sent me photos of all the puppies. So I had an idea of what I would be wanting or seeing. I picked out a couple puppies in hopes that they weren't picked. But when we set up a time to come meet this dog, or to pick out a puppy, she had let me know that one of the puppies that I already picked that I was really into had already been picked. We got to pick out a puppy. We went and picked out a puppy. And when we got there, we were outside, they were playing. Some of them were kind of a little sleepy because they just ate supper. And some of them were very playful. Now, one of the dogs was jumping around, kind of going after us and kind of being very playful and adorable, kind of like, hey, pick me, pick me. I thought it was a really cute dog. I really kind of liked it. It was a male dog, and at the time I was more intrigued by a male dog. I was kind of on the fence about getting a male, but I really did want to get a male. So it was kind of back and forth. I was open to anything at this point. And Chris ended up picking up a puppy that was very calm, very relaxing, pretty much walked up to him and said, "Pick me up," and he picked her up, and that was the dog that he fell in love with. He chose that dog, and that dog ended up being Panda. So that's kind of how we got Panda. So we left with hopes. We spent the weeks getting everything that we needed: kennels, dog toys, dog bowls, everything, a leash, collar, everything that you need for a puppy. And then I had picked out a bunch of names and talked with Chris about it. Chris did not like any of my names that I had picked out. So it was kind of a back and forth trying to figure out what to name her. And I really liked Panda, but Chris really didn't like the name Panda at all. And then when we went to go pick her up, at that time we had no name picked out. We had talked the whole ride to get her. No name to pick out at all. We had no idea what to name her. We ended up getting the puppy, and she can be kind of too much at times, and I wanted more of a calmer dog, and she ended up starting off as being a calm dog and then developed into a psycho, I think. I call her a psycho. She's our psycho dog, but we love her. And then when Chris and I went to go pick her up, that's what happened, and we got a little card with all of her information on it: her parents, all of the shots she had, what they fed her when she was born, pretty much everything about this puppy we got the information for our records and for our vet records and all that. We also got a bag of dog food, and Chris gave me the puppy, and the puppy rode on my lap home when Chris drove home. And we talked the whole ride trying to figure out a name, and by the time we got to the gas station to get gas to go the rest of the way home, we had picked out the name Panda, which Chris wanted to call her Pandora for a long name, and Panda would be her nickname. And I was completely okay with that. It was the best of both worlds. Chris got to name her, and then I also got to have the nickname of her. So that's why Panda is Panda. It's Pandora originally, and that's her full name. And do Pandora Aurora, so that is her name. The first few months she lived in the camper with us. That's kind of where she developed a lot of things. She likes to lay on other dogs. She likes blankets. She sleeps in weird positions. She's very cuddly but very playful all at the same time. And she was a pretty good dog. At first she had some potty training issues, and it took us about 4 months to get her completely potty trained, and she pretty much picked up on it really quickly. And now the dogs are playing, so you might hear them in the background because they're not listening to me today, but you know, it's fine. But she had developed relationships with a lot of people, but her closest relationship, hands down, has always been Chris. She has been a Chris dog from the beginning. I think it's just the fact that at the beginning he was gone a lot, and then when he was around, she cuddled with him a lot. So here's Panda. There's Panda. She's playful. Well, this is just one of our experiences with a breeder. I kind of want to explain some of the good things that happened, and this overall experience with Panda's breeder has been very, very good. Stay tuned for Friday's video, and it will explain a bad experience we've had. So keep that in mind. So to kind of explain some of the good things that have happened, when I first contacted her, she got a hold of me right away. Within the same day, she had messaged me back. She talked to me a lot. She sent a lot of messages. She was very open about sending pictures and very open about her own personal life stuff, which was really, really nice. It kind of felt like you knew the person, and she was completely trustworthy, which made the experience feel a lot better. So another thing that was very good, that I thought was really good, was she was very accommodating to our lives and our time slots. When Chris had to work late and we couldn't get there right on time, she was willing to wait up for us. It was very nice to know that we could just be completely open and have this great experience. She was a really nice lady. overall, the experience with her was really good. We had no problems with the whole money exchange. She was very open about, here's a deposit, the deposit price, which was also included in the full price. Overall, we feel like it was a really good experience. Nothing shady happened. There was nothing of that. She was very open, honest, which we really liked. She was very kind, which we really liked. And frankly, she was kind of easy to find. I mean, I just looked on a page and just happened to find her. And she actually lived pretty close to us, about an hour away, which was really nice. I think one of the hardest things with a breeder is finding a breeder and finding one that you can trust. And there are a lot of people, especially on Facebook, that scam people. I've seen a lot of it, and so this one, I'm actually glad it was a real thing. She gave us the address. She even explained how to get there. She was just overall a really good experience, and I really do like her. Now, the question is, will I go to her again? I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think I want another Boston, and that's what she has. If I wanted another Boston, and let's say I did lose Panda and I wanted another one, I would definitely go back to her again. If she's still having her dog breed, and if she's still, she's not a big company. She's not those breeders that have like 3 or 4 females that got pregnant and have 3 or 4 litters. She had her one dog, 1 litter at a time. Which was really helpful, and I think that made the experience very more personal and very more welcoming on a level of that. So to kind of explain this whole little situation, there was a situation about 2 years ago where a woman posted on the pet Facebook sites that they were looking for a Boston Terrier breeder in Nebraska, and they couldn't find one, and they were just looking for one. And I was reading the comments, and on there, somebody had stated that they gotten a dog from the same town that I got Panda from. And that town is a very small town. It's not a big city. There's not a chance that there's going to be more than one breeder in that town of the same breed of dog. So it's very unlikely that they were from a different place. But they had gotten their dogs from the same breeder that I got my dog from, and I had a feeling that it was the same breeder and everything. So I commented on her post, and she ended up messaging me back and was like, she ended up taking 3 dogs the same day. One of them went to a person in the same town as she did. One of them was her dog, and then the other one was gonna be her friend's dog. And as she was sending me photos of her friend's dog and her dog, and from what we can gather, we believe that her dog Tank, is Panda's half brother, and her friend's dog Lily seems to be more Panda's full sister. And as you look at the comparison between Lily and Panda, they look really similar. I don't know, their faces just look the same to me. When I looked at the picture of Lily, I was like, oh my god, that's Panda. But if you didn't know that wasn't Panda, you would think that is Panda. She's just a little bit bigger than Panda is. Panda's more slim and kind of tiny, but their face is like literally the same. So I just think it was really kind of cool in a small world that I got to meet somebody that also got the same dogs, you know, Panda's siblings, from the same breeder and everything. I thought it was kind of really cool, because a lot of times when you go to a breeder, you really don't know where the other dogs are going. Just like in a shelter, you really don't get to know who the dog's parents are and that kind of stuff. But I thought that was really kind of cool, and I just thought I would explain it here, because in the video I'm completely not explaining anything. So I'm just going to insert this as a little story instead of the original clip. So hopefully you slideshow here of Panda's first years, all of her first. So before these dogs get a little too more crazy, I'm going to end this out. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below if you've ever had a Boston Terrier, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notifications so you're notified when we post every single Friday. This is KMCers, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!